Oh man, Diesel Cock is gonna go crazy over this one. Tesla recalls nearly all vehicles sold in the US to fix system that monitors driving using autopilot. All right, before I get into this, keep in mind most diesel bros tend to be conservative like myself. I classify myself as an evil right-wing nutjob, but I digress. And so we would like to think that we are not being or that we're smart enough to know when the media is attempting to manipulate us, because we've dealt with media manipulating things for quite a while. You know, they've got their narrative, they're doing their own thing, blah, blah, blah. So before you get too excited, diesel bros, about just hating on electric vehicles and Tesla, because it's just one thing to click on and you're not going to look anything up afterwards, right? Let's analyze this a little bit, shall we? Okay. Tesla recalls nearly all vehicles, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, read into this a little further. Tesla's recalling nearly all vehicles in the U.S., more than 2 million, to update software and fix a defective system that's supposed to ensure drivers have patience on the road. What's happening here, and it says right here, is that U.S. safety regulators say the update. So this is the U.S. safety regulators that are forcing them to do this update, which, keep in mind, Tesla recalling vehicles, all that is them putting out an over-the-air update. That's it. It's not like a Chevy or a Ford or a Dodge where when you recall it, you actually have to bring it back to home base. So recalls come after a 2-year investigation by the NHTSA. So this is the government here now. Keep in mind, this other thing that as conservatives we friggin' hate, the government, right? The government is passing more stringent rules to limit where different versions of autopilot can operate. And so this recall from Tesla isn't anything that they did wrong. It's that the government, which ever since Elon Musk started to be behind and be a proponent of free speech, the government has been really, including the left wing, really pissed off that they can't control Twitter anymore, that they don't have a backdoor into Twitter's ability to censor speech and shut down conservative voices, right? So the government is creating new regulations to increase warnings and alerts on autopilot systems. So that's what this recall is all about. Now, if you have any experience, which anybody who's commenting, I'm sure you've got experience using these systems, right? Like I do, over 500,000 miles driving Tesla vehicles. My first Tesla was a 2015. Almost all vehicles I've had have had a form of autopilot. And I use cruise control and autopilot religiously because I'm lazy as shit and I don't want to hold my foot on the pedal. So if you're commenting, you probably have experience with these things, I'm assuming, right? Because we don't want, a drywaller telling an electrician what to do, right? So Tesla says in a statement on Twitter or X that the safety is stronger when autopilot is engaged. I can confirm this to be true. The autopilot system functions very well, and far better than most drivers. But anyway, that being said, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration dispatched investigators, blah, 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 to 35 Tesla crashes since 2016. So 35 crashes in 4, 5, 6, 7 years. There's been 35 crashes. And so that's what all of this government business is about. 35 crashes. And they've passed additional regulation in order to make the autopilot system more of a nanny and more aggressive in order to, in the end, it kind of limits its function. So this is my appeal to facts over feelings, fellow conservatives, especially diesel bros, because I know you guys are a little emotional about hating something that you have no experience with, but that's fine. I get it. We all have our home team, Dodge Ram. People are fucking weird. I have a Duramax, go Dirty Max. Anyway, before you get all hopped up on this, keep in mind what's actually happening here, okay? the government, who doesn't like Tesla, because Tesla refuses to do the whole union thing, is pushing back and filing additional regulations to limit your ability to use these systems, not Tesla. They don't give a fuck over that. It's to limit you, the driver, and is passing additional regulations that Tesla must comply to. So there is a recall, meaning Tesla has to put out an over-the-air update in order to make their system more nanny-naggy about you using it. Okay? So, please, diesel bros, most of you are conservatives, not a lot of liberal diesel bros. Please think about this before you freak out and share this and use it to tell every single Tesla person that they're a retard and their cars, murder innocent babies on the side of the street. Okay? This is the government here that's pissy about Elon Musk, that they can't control my boy anymore, and are pushing back because there's been 35 accidents over 7-8 years that they're attributing to having something to do, kind of like, masks had something to do with keeping people safe, right? Anyway, I'm going off and off and off. Please think about this stuff and think about what's happening behind the scenes before you freak out and become a pawn of the system in sharing this with every Tesla owner you know. Because in the end, as much as I like to tell the left that they're wrong, I need help from conservatives to not sound like fucking retards, okay? You guys are all super smart people, right? Feelings over facts is not how we operate. Facts over feelings, right? So let's do it. Let's do our facts over feelings. That's all I got. This video will probably be marked, and I'll probably have to appeal it because I requested that you guys be smart about it. So I'm here to help. Have a wonderful night.